Alright, so I was trying to do a live stream to kind of show this off. My internet is not having it at the moment with that, especially. It's just too much to keep the stream running, which is about the average. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could probably live stream a non-online game, something that's not going to require much internet. Uh, But as far as I can tell, like I've tried the Division 2, which that game altogether just keeps crashing out on me. I think it's because I have the settings adjusted in it a little off from what I need. But anyways, yeah, live streaming isn't gonna work. It's just too much. 7 Days to Die was the same, where the stream just can't keep it coming and it kills it after a few minutes. But anyways, we're going to do a quick how to get started guide. So you can spawn multiple places. First thing you want to do, doesn't matter what's going on, pull up the map, see where you're at. You can spawn just about anywhere in the world, so depending on where you're at, depends on the first thing you'll want to do. If you spawn in the desert or the frozen area, until you have a good understanding of the game, or at least are able to find clothes, get to green. Somewhere green, doesn't matter where it's at. As long as it's green on the map, you should be a little better at night. Even in the green, you're going to get cold, things like that. Second thing you're going to want to do, look for these. Walk up to them, press E. Fastest way to gather resources. When you first start, don't bother grabbing everything you see, only get the essentials. So we're going to run around, we're going to find just regular stones. I'm going to pick these up just because I can do something with them. You're going to start with the rock, but because I've already been playing, I ain't going to have just a basic rock, pretend like the other stuff in my inventory doesn't exist. So you take your rock. Any tree is good, but if it is laying down, if it's a log or a dead tree on the ground, that is going to actually be better for you to start with, because the basic resources you get per hit or more, less in total. If you sit here and hit a whole tree with a rock, you'll get a bonus at the end, especially if you're hitting your X's. Like this, these are hard to hit, but if you crouch, you can get these spots better. So we're going to go over here, we're going to crouch, and we're going to hit our little X's here. Basically, the more X's you hit, the better the multiplier for the wood gain is, so on and so forth. After a while, the X will just stop moving altogether, which takes a minute to get it to be where you want it, as well as the hitboxes are a little off, so sometimes you're aiming somewhere and you don't hit where you're aiming. Just takes some getting used to. But basically, you're just going to hit that until you have enough wood. We have wood now. So, go into your crafting. We can look at common. This will show you what you have. First thing you want are tools. You will want a stone hatchet and a stone pickaxe. So, hit trees. You probably don't even need to worry about the X's, honestly, until you have those tools. Just keep hitting. One tree will get you where you need to go. We need a little bit more stone. So, once again, you can run around until you find it, or you can look for the big rocks with the glowing spots on them. My best way to explain this, if you don't know what you're looking for, is look for the walnut rocks. And when we find one, I'll explain that a little better. But, as you can see, even now in the desert, my character is too hot. But I don't worry about it too much. But this is what I was talking about. All your rocks that are mineable look this way. This is metal, so if you hit the little dots, kind of the same as the X's, you'll get more resources. But they remind me of a walnut shell, so that's why I call them walnut rocks. But you just kind of do this. But starting out, my favorite thing to do, unless I can find a stone node just like that, is actually just run around. That's 50 every time you find one. Where this, even if you're hitting the dots, it's going to be much slower. More resources at the end, but much slower. Anyways, now you have enough, so you're just gonna make you a hatchet, make you a pickaxe. Then pretend this is, well, these I don't think, yeah, those won't harvest, so let's go ahead and just make that stone hatchet real quick. So, food. Find pumpkins, gather as many as you can carry. Corns, I'll show you the difference in them. So, uh, you got a corn, 6, 75, 10. 10, 130. So, each a few pumpkins, gather more pumpkins. The corn, to me, just isn't worth bothering with when you can find pumpkin patches. Clearly, if all you can find is corn, get all the corn you can, but we're gonna just run around. I'll throw those out. I actually have quite a few seeds already saved up. But anyways, as you eat these, you'll get seeds too. So you get seeds for harvesting, seeds for eating. Once you get that stone axe, we got our metabolism, everything looking good. You're going to start hitting cactuses. Cactuses will give you cactus flesh. It'll keep you alive for a little bit. Not great though. You're going to need a bunch. So, but you want to hit cactuses, plants, whatever you can to get your plant fiber or cloth. And the reason you want cloth for two things. A, clothing. You're going to want to make you a full burlap sack or wood. If you can get the wood stuff, make you some wood armor to go with it. I'll show you how that works here in a second. But another thing is your medical. The only thing you'll know right away. Cloth bandages. These will stop bleeding, so definitely going to be worth having. But what you want is essentially this. So I have shorts on. Then I put wood armor pants over those. Got a shirt on. Put some wood chest plate over that. It's a little bit of extra defense. Uh, Not the best thing in the world, but does help you against melee damage, things like that. Bite damage is really what you're trying to protect from, considering animals will be your biggest issue to start with, but take any, armor you can get to start with. Also, you can't drink from the ocean, so I'd recommend finding you a place that has a river close by until you can find you. That should be under an item. Construction, maybe? One of these will have what I'm looking for in it, unless I haven't learned that recipe yet. Yeah, I just haven't bothered to learn the recipe. Anyways, in your items, you can learn to craft water barrels, which I have some in, as well as I have water collectors. Water collectors passively hold water. Water collectors also, for one person, will be enough to basically keep you fully hydrated at all times. And there are ways to link that to other things to kind of automate your water collection and holding. but the water barrels will hold the water for you where the water collectors gather. So it's always good to have a water barrel inside of your base and try to remember to occasionally get water in it. You can get the blue big water jugs to hold 500 liters at a time, or milliliters, and that does pretty good to make sure you don't run out of water. Ultimately, it's very rare that you're going to spawn 5 pumpkins. I got really lucky with this. Another thing is base location. So, I'm trying to keep this video short. I never started a timer, so I'm going to just try to guesstimate, let's say maybe 30 minutes for this one, just because it's a kind of how to get started, and there's a few things I want to show, and I'll make some cuts here. I started here in this cove for 3 reasons. A, boats spawn up and down this coast pretty regularly, so it's never hard for me to get to a boat. We have our sulfur quarry right here. We have supermarkets. Have gas stations on the other side. Gas stations down here. Until you are fully set up and able to support yourself, you will always want to be within range of some kind of a supermarket or gas station. The sulfur quarry is just a bonus. It's just a little passive sulfur with just some gas. You don't have to really go mine it or babysit it. Also, there's a monument location launch site right here, which allows me to go gather some decent loot from time to time. Launch site would not be a recommendation for new players because the armor personnel carrier tank does patrol this area. Very deadly, takes a lot of explosives to destroy it. Won't recommend this. If I had a recommendation, I'd probably say the water treatment plant is the best area. You're quite a ways away from any of the markets, but getting the loot from here is way easier. You could always stay close to the bandit camps or the outpost as well. Those are pretty safe areas. You just want to make sure you have the ability to live wherever you want to build out. If you're having issues, change where you built at. If you build somewhere over here and you can't handle it in the desert, no issue to follow this road down here, get out of the desert and get somewhere a little bit safer. Do remember though, if you're in the green, you will run into bears. Bears will kill you. They will kill you fast. They do a lot of damage every single hit, as well as they are pretty hostile to begin with. Pigs are hostile too, but you know, if you're leaving them alone, they'll leave you alone. Same with deer. Another thing is you get a little bit of brief immunity from the attack copters, so you know, don't feel like you gotta constantly be running away if you hear it. With me geared up how I am, I probably do need to worry since I do have like Thompsons and things now, but it's something you shouldn't have to worry about until you're pretty much fully geared. Another thing, horses can be your best friend or your worst enemy. If you never did a horse in this game, I hate them. You very rarely will see me using them, and I'll show you why. So we're just running along, running along. We're good. Everything's flat here. The second you try to run this horse down any kind of small overhang outcropping, let's see if I can find one real quick. I know there's a few around here. The horse will not move. So if you're in a hurry, you're running. Second of all, that and horses don't stop or move quickly. So we're just running, running, running. You hit a wall, he stops. You hit a little ledge like this, he stops. So the horse won't walk over anything that it can't step down. Where I built at, clearly riding a horse means riding it all the way around, coming down back up the beach. they can be handy if you get them with the saddle packs and armor and stuff to kind of give you a little extra defense on them and give them some defense. But overall, if you're not traveling a long distance, a horse is not even worth grabbing, touching. Uh, Clearly, if I want to go from where I'm at over here to the outpost, for example, without taking a boat around and then running down from the harbor, horse would be a viable option if I'm following the road. Not going to really try to go off-road at all, just straight up running straight there along a major road. It would be a viable option. For me, though, I'm typically just running around doing kind of what I'm doing now. I do have augers and stuff to get, you know, the metal, stone, but it never hurts to just grab resources as you run. Another thing, when you start out, stay by a road. All your loot that you're going to need to start with is going to be alongside of a road. Uh, the only thing is, watch out for the scientists like this guy over here. Uh, he'll do you in pretty quick if you're not set up. But for me, they're kind of dumb. They ain't got great range, and you got to do some damage to them before they'll even attack you. As well as, their shooting ain't the best. I have all that cloth on me, so takes a few seconds for a band-aid to craft. They have to be on your hotbar. Cannot use a bandage anywhere else. You can't use it straight from an inventory. So, we're just going to quickly stop that bleeding. We got an extra bandage here. We'll bandage up. That'll give us a little bit of health. What I'm hoping is he comes over to me. I'm just going to shotgun him in the face real quick, but they usually are a little bit more cautious than some of the others. And that's what I mean, but the loot ain't good off of them. I wouldn't recommend just wasting your time killing them, because this is what you're going to want. We'll do the stone hatchet just because most people aren't going to have swords like I do. You're going to whack them. You're going to grab scrap. Sewing kits are alright, but you really ain't going to need a lot to begin with. Once again, grabbing the scrap. If you somehow get a kayak, luckily out of loot, you can grab you a paddle and you'll be good to go. These are the lootable chests you'll want. Open it up. Grab what's in there. That ain't a bad find. That can be researched to save me some tree progression. So I'm going to pause this here. We're going to go back over to the base. I'm going to show off a little bit of the skill tree progression, what I'm referring to just now, and I'll be right back. So anyways, I thought about it. I'm pretty close to a supermarket actually, so we're going to check this out real quick. Just so I'll show you how to get food once you find a gas station or supermarket. Run inside. You're going to be looking for these green crates like this, which we can just go ahead and eat that straight from there. Get some of that health back we had lost. I don't take the small water bottles just because I have bigger water jugs. But you're gonna basically just run around and loot anything it will let you loot. As well as, if you're ever in a bind and you're close by and your health's low, come in here. You can heal up real quick. As well as, there's always a little decent loot in these, so that should kind of help us out there. You got 2 rooms. One room's typically going to have a case like this. This is your better cases to loot. The other room typically will have a box like this, if it has a box like this. So we're going to throw out those seeds there. That one random pumpkin, because there's actually quite a bit of loot around here. I ain't going to grab it all, but there's always one right behind that door right there. That is a good find for me. I have been having issues getting the power system set up. In fact, I don't need these cans necessarily. So, go up on the roof, always check. Sometimes crates spawn multiples up here, so always worth checking out. Got plenty of rat suits and fuses. make sure to get you a rad suit as soon as you can. I mean, you'll have to find your first one, most likely. Research it after you find it. That's when the sewing kits come in handy. If you don't know what this is a recycler. So, we throw a little bit of goods in here, turn it on. You can recycle just about anything under the sun or something. So there's some metal fragments. Those will be handy to have, especially at the beginning of the game. But for the most part, everything else you'll probably want to keep or store for a while. If you get rich and you don't need, that is a semi-auto body. If you don't need it, scrap it down. Give you some scrap, some high quality metals, and quite a bit of metal frags. These pipes here also ain't bad to get rid of. I just have a bunch of these. That's the only reason I'm still scrapping them. Because once again, high quality and some more scrap. Scrap is my weakest resource right now. However, these sheet metal scraps, they are very good. If you're running low on your metal frags, I'd recommend just scrapping whatever you can to get them while you have a furnace cooking them. This video definitely is going to have to run a little long just because there's some other stuff I still want to show off. But essentially, this is what you're doing. You're looking for these. You're going to run around and hit every single little box you find. Doesn't matter if you need it or not. If you're at one of these, you can recycle anything you don't want. Also, keep an eye on the back of these cars. A lot of times there's a thing here that spawns, kind of like this. These will have car parts in them. Almost ain't worth it to even try to get a car working right away, just because all your parts are going to be low quality. Ain't going to run very well. Scrap them. Just throw them in that recycler while you're standing there. Hit up anything in the area you see. I actually do need some more wood. But same, you got usually small buildings like this around it. You can get you a little bit of loot occasionally from them. Depends on how the spawn hit. But I'll be back and we'll show off these skills real quick. Alright, so we'll show this off real quick. This is water catcher. It's going to store water for you passively over time. If you've never played Rust before, make a airlock. Your front door should be a triangle piece with a door on it. None of my doors are locked, but it's okay. Server's small, don't got much to worry about. Put you another door on the other side. The reason for this is nobody can walk through that if these doors are open. So, always good to have that. From here, you're going to make sure you have another door just for extra precaution. These ideally need to be the strongest door you can get, but just simple, easy to set up, and it adds a little protection. But for the skill trees, we'll use a tier 1 workbench just because this is what most people are going to have. You can craft from here. Anything that tells you you need a tier 1 workbench, this is 2. But so on and so forth. Just, you do need workbenches for certain things. So, you want to hit open tech tree once you enter here, down here. These are all your tier 1 workbench materials. You get pretty much what you need from here. Costs you scrap to learn everything though. So, for example, if I want a cleaver, I'm going to have to spend 75 to unlock it. I have to follow these trees in order though. See how it says no path? Because I haven't unlocked the hatchet yet. But, so, for example, look here. I have the huge wooden sign. I spent the stuff to scrap or to learn it from a research bench, which I'll show in a second. Here's my problem. I can't go down this because it has to start the path at the top. So even if I'm able to skip ahead and get these things down here, I can't actually go to the next path until I start at the top and work my way down. Clearly, if you find, I actually have a fridge, so if you find a fridge, you can use, you know, your scrap to unlock that recipe. I'm just going to go ahead and unlock it for now. because I already know it. Water barrels, yada yada yada. I've been able to find most of this. In fact, let's go ahead and just unlock a few of these. I got a little bit of scrap. So, bucket helmets are almost worthless in my opinion, but if it's all you have, it's all you have. Uh, all you need. In fact, I think I got a water bucket somewhere. Anyways, moving on. The water barrels. These will store water for you. As you can see, I got 1100 water in here. I can drink or drag stuff to fill it. These are salvaged shelves. Hard to say that back to back. They're good for storage. You can put 2 chests each row, 3 if you're using the smaller chest, and kind of have your storage looking a little neater. Didn't get those right away, so there's just random chests here and there. Your forges only have limited room, so every so often you do want to make sure you're coming in here and getting the charcoal out. Also, in here, I have a water purifier. So, you can kind of fill and unfill stuff here. Not really that great once you get your water barrels and stuff. But the research bench, so we put that in there. It costs us 20 scrap, so we put this here. This is going to get rid of this item though, but it's going to allow us to build it. And it also tells you what workbench level you need. So I have a level 1 workbench, so I'm going to go ahead, get rid of this so I can permanently unlock that recipe to build as many as I want. As long as it's within your workbench level, it's a good idea to do that unless it's already something you've learned through a tree. Same with this. This is 75. I'll probably unlock that before I just go use it. Just because I am nearly to the point for electricity, which, to be honest, I'm gonna have to watch a video on that. I haven't played with any of the electricity in this game, so that was never my strong suit on this game. But that's gonna pretty much be it for this one. I might do a more in-depth video, kind of, showing off some of the less known basics of the game. There's a few things that most people don't realize that make a big difference that are not something you would even think of a lot of the times. It's just things I've learned from playing this, Conan. There's a lot of do's and don'ts people don't typically cover in their how-to videos. Just because most people don't even think about certain things. But I'm going to probably do another video like that sometime soon in the future. I'm definitely not going to do it today. But yeah, that's just the basics. Also, if you get any comfort items, rugs and stuff, place them down. I'm getting a 30% comfort bonus while around there because I got this forge going. If I get actually closer to that, I get a 50% buff. Comfort is good in this game. We'll just keep it simple. Comfort is good. But yeah, that's going to pretty much cover it for this video. Like I said, I'll probably do a few different videos to kind of go over just certain things, but it's too much to try to cover everything in one short video. But hopefully this helps a few people.